Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy. Today I want to talk about Luke Skywalker's X-Wing Starfighter from the Micro Machines Action Fleet series. So let's take this guy over to the toy studio and take a closer look at him. Come on, let's go. Alright guys, here we are with an X-Wing Starfighter. This is actually Luke Skywalker's X-Wing Starfighter. And this toy is from the Micro Machines Action Fleet collection. And if you're not familiar with what that was, it was a toy line that came out in the mid to late 90s. And they still do, Micro Machines still does make Star Wars toys. But this particular one we're looking at is from back in the 90s. And these are some, if you're familiar with Micro Machines, you know they make some really, really small toys, about an inch or so in size. And then they made this line, which is called the Action Fleet series. And they're a little bit bigger models of the ships, and they come with little tiny posable figures, and we'll get into that in a second. But just to show you the scale of it real quick, I have a 3 3/4 inch figure here. So just to show you the size of this thing, this is a 3 3/4 inch Stormtrooper. So just to give you context and scale of the size of the ship. So it's very small, and they're very nice toys. They're very, very detailed, and they have moving parts and everything. And they come with these little stands, and if you look really closely here, you can see it's got the logo, Star Wars Action Fleet. And each one of them comes with a stand, and they're very nice toys. And if you're not familiar with these, you might be interested in this video, because just as a bigger toy collector probably than the average person, I have things outside the world of Hasbro, and this is one of the toy lines I think they did a really good job with, was this Action Fleet series. And it does come off the stand here, so let me show you guys how that all works. So what you're going to do is you just pop it off, and if you look at the bottom of the ship here, you'll see there's a little hole right here, and then on the stand itself there's a little peg right there, and that's how it mounts on the ship. Alright, and this thing's pretty basic, nothing special about it. But looking at the ship here, and you can open and close the X-foils, so you just pull them apart with your fingers. And when you pull, one side apart, they both open and close. They're connected. So then you have them in the open position, and you can feel them snap into place. You can't really hear it; it doesn't make a sound, but it does snap into place, and then it snaps closed. Okay, and so that's what it looks like. And another feature this thing has, which is really cool, is it actually has working landing gears. So there's 3 of them on the bottom. See if we can get these pull out of here. And there you can see how they work. They just pull out with your finger. There's no lever or switch or anything like that. And so you can sit it like it's in the parked position. If you want to take it off the stand and have it sit on the ground, it does do that as well. And the laser cannons are a little bit flexible, so you don't have to worry so much about breaking them. You can see there's a little bit of flexibility to them, and they are permanently attached. You can't remove them. Okay, so if you look a little bit closer, I'll go ahead and fold the landing gears up for you guys. And they just snap back in, and you'll hear them click. Okay, and so as you can see, if you look very closely, there is a pilot. Luke is in the cockpit, and there's an R2 unit. There's R2-D2. And these guys do come out. And to be honest with you, the R2 unit is in there pretty good. He's on a little... Come on out of there, guy. There we go. Got him out. He's on a little peg. So... see if I can get my camera to focus on this little thing. So, whoop. Here's what he looks like. It's a very tiny R2-D2 action figure. And he doesn't move. There's no moving parts on him. But what you do have is there's a little hole in the bottom. And what the hole is there for is if you look inside where he seats, his little seat there on the back, there's a little peg, and so that's why he was tough to get out. So R2 actually snaps onto that peg, so you don't have to worry about him falling out if you're handling the toy or anything like that. Okay, and so then the other thing this ship does is the cockpit opens. So what you do here is you just pull it open with your fingers. It's on a little hinge. There's nothing to it, and there is a little Luke figure in there. And he does come out, and he is very, very tiny. And of course, because of the size, there's very limited movement, and his arms are locked in the bent position like that. And as you can see, if you move one of his arms, they both move. And it's the same way with his legs. His legs are a solid piece. You can see they're connected at the feet. And what you do is you can just bend them at the hips. And because they're so little, sometimes the parts might snap loose a little bit, but you just push them back into position, they'll be fine. But you can bend them at the hips, so you can of course put him in the seated position and insert him into the X-Wing. And you can see for the size of this figure, it's probably less than an inch tall. If I can get the camera to focus on this guy. Come on, focus. Oh. They're very, very tiny micro machines. And you can see for the size of the figure, it has pretty good detail. They don't have the helmet design perfect. It's just a red stripe and some dots. But for the size of the figure, I'd say they're doing a pretty good job. There he goes. All right, let's put him back in here. And so it's very easy. You just bend him at the hips. And you slide him right in there. And you can see he seats in there with plenty of room. And you snap the canopy closed. And you can't really hear it on camera. It's not making a noise, but it does snap shut. And you don't have to worry about it flopping around on you. Some ships will do that. The cockpit actually, or the canopy, excuse me, actually flaps loose. And of course, once again, we have our R2-D2 figure. And he just slides right in here. And you just kind of push him in, you'll feel him bottom out. And there you go. They're both back in the ship. And we will put it back on the stand here. And me personally, I just think X-Wings look better when they're in the attack position. So... Alright guys, there you have it. From the Micro Machines Action Fleet to Collection, this is Luke Skywalker's X-Wing. And thanks for watching everyone, I really appreciate it. Bye.